So in the last class, we had discussed about numbers, right? So, I mean, the number names, the place value of numbers, face value of numbers, how to write numbers in expanded form, how to write numbers in contracted form, right? And at the same time, I mean, we just started rounding of numbers. So that is where we left. Do you have any questions on whatever we discussed in the last class? Okay. Yeah, yeah, I mean, we'll just start from rounding off today. Okay, so we'll just begin that topic. Any questions on abacus? Sure. I mean, see, abacus was the first known calculator. Okay. And it is a device that is used to, first of all, it has rods. So it will have a rod like this. So you can see the rods. So these are the rods. And then it will have beads. Right. So each of the rods represent the position of the digits. Say, for example, yeah. Just a second. Can you hear me now? Okay. So, I mean, abacus is made up of rods and beads. So the rods represents the position of the digit. For example, the first rod, it will represent the ones position. The second one will represent the tens. Third one will represent the hundreds, then thousands, then 10,000s, and then lakh. Right? You can have more than that as well. 10 lakh, crores, and so on. But usually in the current syllabus that you have, you don't have much larger numbers. Okay. Then you have these beads. So these beads represents the face value. Okay, so if you have 4 beads, the face value of this is 4 and the position is ones, right? So the last digit will be 4. This is the 10th digit. So the 10th digit is 5. So I'll write 5 here. This is the 100th digit. So it is 2 here. So I'll write 2 here, right? 1000th digit is 6. So I'll write 6 here. 10,000 it is 1. So I'll write 1 here. And then lakh it is 4. So I'll write 4 here. Okay. You know the difference between face and place value, right? What is the difference between place value and face value?
Sir, place value means the value where the number is. Suppose if I am going to, suppose I am at home, my face will be the same, but the clothes I wear will be different. And when I go to a party, then my clothes will be different, my face will be same. That is place value, and face value is the same value of that number.
Yeah, very good interpretation. So, face value would be the number itself. That does not change, right? So, for example, if you just look at this digit, it is 6 itself, right? So, face value of this will be 6. Place value will be 6 times the position it is holding, right? So, the example that you gave, for example, the place you are at or the clothes you are wearing uh, denotes the position, right? So face will remain same. So for example, you can place this 6 here as well, but the place value will change, right? Because it is at a different place now. Okay. So for example, you have this digit 2,666, right? So this 6 has a face value of 6. This 6 has a face value of 6. This 6 also has a face value of 6. But all three of them have different place values. So the place value of 6 is 6. The place value of 6 is 60. And this 6, it is 600, right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then we also discussed about comparing digits, right? When we want to compare digits, so there can be two cases if they don't have the same number of digits. So if I have two numbers, I want to compare them, right? So there can be two cases. The first case is when the number of digits are not the same. In that case, the number that has the larger number of digits will be greater, right? There's no need to compare. Yeah.
Sir, comparing and ordering, you told me.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to revisit this once. Or if you,
It is okay to me.
okay,
It is completely fine to me.
okay. I mean, any doubts on this topic?
No, 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 no doubts in comparing and ordering.
Okay. Then we had discussed about arranging numbers, right? So, for example, if you want to create the largest five-digit number without repeating digits, with repeating, with repetition, without repetition, right? So, we have discussed these cases as well. Are these clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we come to rounding of numbers, right? So, I mean, what does rounding mean? You went to a grocery store, purchased something worth 99, right? You paid 100 rupees, right? And then you said, keep the change because it is very close to 100, right? So that is where we use rounding of numbers. Okay. So how do we round off numbers? For example, you can have a digit. So if I give you a digit 96, right? So you need two things. The first thing is the digit itself. The second thing is whether you want to round it off to the nearest 10, nearest 100 or nearest 1000. Okay. So say for example, if I'm asking you to round this off to the nearest 10,
Sir, 100.
yeah, it will be 100. What about if I ask you to round this off to the nearest 1000? Sorry, 100. Nearest 100.
1000.
Will it be 1000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, okay, we'll go into it in detail a little later. So first of all, let's see how do we round off numbers to the nearest 10. So say you have a number 57 or 54, right? So I'm asking to round this off to the nearest 10. So you look at, yeah. So you look at the tens digit, right? So ones, tens. So this is the tens digit. So you have to either increase this or keep it as it is, right? So you'll either increase it or keep it as it is based on the value that you see to the right of this, just to the right of this. So if it is less than 5, so you'll keep it as it is and then make this 0. And if it is greater than 5, so you'll increase this by 1 and make this 0. So anyways, this will become 0 and this will be either 5 or 6 based on whether this is greater than 5 or not.
Yes.
Okay. So here, since it is less than 5, so you'll just make this 50. Right. Now, if I am asking to round something off to the nearest 100, say 154. Now you look at the hundreds digit. So ones, tens, 100. Okay, so you'll freeze this. So you want to round this thing. Right, so now you look at this number that is nearest. Okay, and then you see whether this is greater than or equal to 5 or not. So what do you see? Is it greater than or equal to 5 or less than 5?
Sir, it is less than 5.
No, it is greater than or equal to 5, right? Less than 5 would mean what are the numbers that are less than 5?
Sir, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but this is 5, right?
Yes, sir.
So 5 is not less than 5. It is greater than or equal to 5. Right? What I mean is if this number is either greater than 5 or equal to 5, then you increase this. Right? So you can see that. So there can be two cases, okay? Three cases actually. So the first case is less than 5. So I'll write less than 5. So what are numbers less than 5? 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0, right? So these are the only numbers. The second case can be it is equal to 5. So then you'll have only one number, 5. Then the third case can be greater than 5, right? So when greater than 5, so you'll have 6, 7, 8 and 9. Right? So these are the only options you'll have. So the rule for rounding says if it is less than 5, right? So if it is less than 5, you keep this digit as it is and make this 0. If it is equal to 5, you increase this by 1 and make this 0. Greater than 5, you do the same thing. Increase this by 1 and keep this 0. So that is why I'm saying if it is equal to or greater than, or if it is greater than or equal to 5, you increase this by 1, right? And if it is less than 5, you don't increase this by 1. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So now you have this number 154 and you have to round this off to the nearest 100. Right? So you look at this number. So you have to round this number. Right? You have
200.
Yeah, very good. So it will be 200. Why? Because you look at this number, this is greater than or equal to 5. I mean, this is equal to 5. So you'll just increase this. Yeah.
Sir, one in 154, if we have to round off 154 to the nearest 100,
Yeah.
then we will look at the hundreds place, 1. Then we will look at the tens place,
Yeah.
it is 5.
Yeah.
Then we will look at the ones place. So in the ones place, it is 4.
Yeah.
So 4 is greater than 5, 54. And so the 154 number comes between 100 and 200. So it is more closer to 200 because 154 is more than 150.
Yeah. Yeah. So the simplest approach to this is just check this number. Just check this number. No need to go for this. So if it is just 5 or above, then you know that this number will be closer to 200. If it is 4, then you know this number is closer to 100.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
So that is what you mean by rounding this off to the nearest 100. So you round this off to the nearest 100. So the nearest 100 is 200. Here you had to round this off to the nearest 10. So the nearest 10 to 54 was 50. It was not 60. Right? And then you have rounding numbers to the nearest 1000. Say 5, 7, 6, 2. Right? So you have this number and then you have to round this off to the nearest 1000. So you have this ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So you have to round this thing. Right? So you identify the position. Now you look at the number that is next to it. Okay, is it greater than 5?
Yes, sir.
It is greater than 5. So you'll write this as, so you'll increase this by 1. So 6000. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, I have some questions on rounding numbers. I'll just share it on the screen. Try solving this. Okay, so again, some instructions. When rounding to the nearest 10, look at the ones digit. When rounding to the nearest 100, look at the tens digit. And when rounding to the nearest 1000, look at the hundreds digit. Right, so this is we have discussed already. Okay, the first question is 7617, right? I've just added the position for the sake of clarity. So you have to round this off to the nearest 10.
Sir, the answer is 7620.
Yeah, 20, very good. So here you have to round this thing, right? So you look at this 7. So 7 is greater than or equal to 5. So it is greater than 5. So you just increase this by 1. So 7620. Okay, then you have round to the nearest 10 again. 1243.
Sir, 1240.
Yeah, very good. 5996.
Sir, 59. Sir, 6000.
Yeah, very good. So you have to add 1, right? So this will become 0, this will become 0, and then this will be 0. 6. So 6000. So here you have to round off to the nearest 100. Now the question has changed.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah, you're audible. I mean, we have a new question, round to the nearest 100. Can you
yes,
see
sir.
this? Yeah, try solving this question.
Uh, sir, 2600.
Yeah, 2600. Again, you focus on this thing. So you have to either increase this or keep this as it is. So you look at this, it is less than 5, so you'll keep this as it is. Okay. Again, nearest 100.
Sir, 6800.
Yeah, 6800.
Sir, 9500.
Yeah. This question, you have to round this off to the nearest 1000.
Sir, 5000.
Yeah.
Sir, 8000.
Yeah.
1000.
Yeah. Okay. Now, can you round this off to the nearest 1000?
Sir, 1000.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, answer is 1000.
Okay. So see, is this closer to 1000?
Oh, sir, it is closer to 0.
Yeah. So ideally, the answer should be 0 and not 1000. Okay. So I'm saying that when you have to round any number to the nearest 1000, you have to focus at the thousands place, right? Or the thousands digit. Here you have only two digits, ones and tens. So you have to create two digits, hundreds and thousands, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you have this. This is the thousands digit. So you have to either keep this as it is or add one, right?
Yes, sir.
So you look at the number next to it. Is this greater than 5 or is this less than 5?
Sir, it is completely less than 5.
Yeah. So you'll keep this as it is. The remaining things will become 0, right? So the answer will be 0. Is this
Yes,
clear?
yes, sir, completely clear.
976. Can you round this off to the nearest 1000?
Sir, 1000.
Yeah, very good.
Sir, because between 0 and 1000, the middle number is 500.
Yeah.
And it is completely bigger than 500.
So that is why, I mean, it is much closer to 1000 than 0, right? Okay. Can you round this off to the nearest 100?
Sir, 0.
Yeah, 0. Yeah. I hope these type of question is clear to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this question says Sanvi has the digits as shown here. What is the greatest 4-digit number that can be found with the given digits? You have to use each digit only once.
Sir, greatest.
Yeah. So the greatest 4-digit number.
5210, option number A.
Yeah. What about if you could repeat the digits? If you are allowed to repeat the digits.
5.
Yeah, 5. Now again the same question, but you have to find the smallest 4-digit number.
Sir, 1025.
1025. So this is with repetition, right? Without repetition, right? When you are allowed to repeat, then what will be the answer?
Sir, 1111.
Okay.
No, sir, 1000.
Yeah, 1000. Because you also have zero. So the only constraint is that you cannot use zero at the first place, but you can use it in the next place, right? And subsequent places as well. So 1000. Is this question visible to you clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to find the estimated value of the number shown on the abacus when rounded off to the nearest hundreds.
Sir, answer is B.
Yeah, very good. So this question was asked in 2024, I guess. The sum of 5462, the first number is 5462. The second number is 3258. So the sum of these two numbers when each number is rounded off to the nearest hundreds.
Sir, C, 8700.
Okay. So what do you get when you round this off to the nearest hundred?
Sir, 8700.
No, only this number. The first number only.
Achha. Sir, sir, 5500.
5500. And what about this?
Sir, 3300.
3300. So if you add both of this, you'll get
8700. 8800.
yeah 8800, right? Not 8700. Okay. Any question?
Sir, how is the answer 8800 not being 8700?
Because see, this is 5500 and this is 3300. If you add both of these, so you'll get 0 here, 0 here. 5 plus 3 will be 8, and then 5 plus 3 will be 8.
So, sir, can't we directly round of 8720?
You mean first add these two and then round that off?
Yes, sir.
No, see, the question says the sum of this number and this number when each number is rounded off. Right, so it is asking the sum of these two numbers when you round each number. Right, so it is specifically mentioned in the question that you have to first round off each number and then add. Right, otherwise if you had to sum and then round, it would have been given the sum of this number and this number when rounded off to the nearest hundreds. So then you'll not be given this. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here since it is given that when you are rounding each number, so you have to round each number first and then add. When it will not be given, when this thing will not be given, so you have to just add them simply and then round it off. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So then, have you studied Roman numbers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have studied.
What are they?
Sir, Roman number numbers are I, double I, triple I,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
IV.
Okay. So, I mean, it is another way to represent numbers, right? So, it was earlier used by Romans, but we also use it somehow. So, when we have a lot of things to represent, say question number one, right? If you are writing it in bullet points, so sometimes we write one, two. So, we write in bullet numbers. I mean, we write bullet points in form of Roman numbers sometimes. Okay, so that is where, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I was saying that Roman numerals are also used to represent, are also used to represent what we say, classes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, since you are in class 4, you'll use this IV, right, to represent your grade like this, right? So, this is also one of the application of Roman number, right? So, what Roman number does is it uses certain set of letters to represent numbers instead of using numbers alone, right? So, after the invention of these decimal number system means when we use the numbers from 0 to 9 to represent all the numbers, right? So, this was discontinued, but still we use it nowadays. So, I mean, the decimal number system is the most common number system that everyone uses these days. However, this is also one of the number system, right? So here we have certain set of rules. If you have I means 1, okay? V means 5, X means 10, right? L means 50, C means 100, D means 500, and M means 1000. This is all you need to know about the numbers and what values they correspond to. All the numbers, so for example, in the decimal number system, we just had to study about these things: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? All other numbers, say for example 539, 539, I can write using this 5, 3, and 9. Okay? So I can use this to, write any number that I want, be it any large or any small number.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can I write the answer of 539 in the chat box in Roman numbers?
539. Yeah, you can write. Or you can just tell me as well. I'll just write it here.
Yeah.
So D means 500, right? And then you're writing triple X, right? And then IX, right? So this becomes 530 and then 9, right? See, but I mean, there is just one issue with this. You cannot write so many X at once, right? So you are only allowed to write 3X at once. Yeah. So I mean, there's one more way wherein you can use DXI. Will this correspond to 439? 539, sorry.
No, sir. Sir, the answer will be. Sir, this is 541.
So, for example, this is 500, right? And
Yes,
this is 50. Wait, what about this? So, this is 11. So, you can subtract 11 from 50.
Sir, 41, 49.
49 or 39,
Yes, 39.
right? But this is not correct actually. Right, see, you have two numbers. So, there is two way to interpret this. Okay, so this can be D. I mean, this is a wrong way to write this, Roman numbers. So you cannot write two smaller numbers at the same time and then write a larger number. That means there is a confusion in which number to subtract, which to add, like we just had while doing this. So this is the correct way to represent. Okay. And this is not the correct way. Why? Because you have simultaneously two numbers, right? Xi. And then you have a larger number. So two small numbers simultaneously and then a larger number. So this should not be the correct way to represent this. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you must be already aware of these rules. So the first rule says repetition is equal to addition. So when you're repeating letters, it means you're adding them, right? So x, since x means 10, you're repeating them. 10 plus 10 plus 10 becomes 30, right? Rule 2 says if you have smaller number to the right, so for example, cx, you add it, right? C means 100, right? X means 10. So this will become 110. So repetition means addition and smaller number to the right means addition. Smaller number to the left means subtraction. So if you have smaller number to the left, it will mean subtraction. So x and then c. Right, so c is larger, x is smaller, x is to the left of c. So that would mean you have to subtract. So 100 minus 10 is equal to 90. Right, and then you have this sandwich. So I mean, this is where you have this confusion. So for example, it is written dxl. Right, so you cannot write 540 as d. So you cannot write this as d and then 4x. Can you write it like this?
No, sir.
Because we can write, yeah, go ahead.
Because, sir, we can't repeat a number in Roman numbers more than 3 times.
Yeah, very good. So that is why instead of using d and 4x, you use dxl. So l means 50. Then you have a number to the left, it would mean 40, right? Because you are subtracting 10. And then you have d. So 540. And then when you have 39, you can just use I. Now this separation means you are no longer repeating three Roman numbers at once. Right? So that is why you are able to write dxxxix for 539. And you should not write dxil or dixl for 539. Okay? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is how we represent some of the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you come to 4, you use V. Right, then 5, then 6, 7, 8. Again, you have repeated this 3 times. So instead of writing this 4 times to represent 9, you use ix. Right? So I hope you are already aware of this.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
970, how will you represent this?
It's 70. Sir, CMLXX.
Yeah, very good. So you can write 970 as 900 plus 70. So you already wrote 900 here. And then you just have to write 70 as L double X. Right? So 50, 60, 70. 540.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any question?
Yes, sir. Sir, it can't be triple XM.
Which one?
Sir.
Okay, you mean triple XM. So see, when you are subtracting a smaller number from a larger number, you should only use that number once, not more than once.
Yes.
Okay? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So you should not repeat this more than once.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So only while adding you should repeat numbers. While subtracting you should not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How to represent 540?
Sir, DXL.
So DL will be 550. So just add 1x before. Okay. So which of the following is same as this? C, D, L, X, V.
Sir,
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
Okay. So see, first of all, try to map each of these with the numbers. So D is 500, right? C is 100,
Sir,
L is 50, X is 10, right? And V is 5, right? So see the largest number, first of all, identify the largest number. It is D, right? So you have this D as the largest. So then you have one smaller number to the left of it. So if you decompose this, it will become 400, right? Is this clear? How is this 400?
yes, sir.
Now move on to the next largest number. So which is 50, right? You have 50. And then
Yes, sir.
to the next of 50, you have 10 and 5. So you'll just add these. So 10 plus 5 is 15, and 15 plus 50 is. What is the value of 50 and 15? So if you add them,
65.
yeah, 65. So 400.
So the answer will be 465.
Yeah. Any question?
No, sir.
What exact confusion you had here? Can you tell me?
Sir, I had the confusion like XV.
Yeah.
XV, I thought of 15.
Yeah.
And then CDL. Sir, I thought the answer would be 550 minus 100, 540. I thought the answer would be 5415.
Okay. Okay, so now you know the approach, right? So you start with the number which is largest and then look behind and then forward that number. Okay, use this as a pivot point. So that will be the starting point. Okay, so using this, you start to decompose numbers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll have more examples so that it is more clear to you. Yeah, so this is how exactly this is done. So CD, you get 400, L50, X10 and V5. So 400 plus 50 plus 10 plus 5, 465. Uh, is the question clear to you? I mean, can you see it clearly or should I write this down? So you have CDXI. Okay, C.
Yes, sir, I can see. Yes, sir, I can see it.
Okay,
Yes,
you can
sir,
see
I
it.
can see it.
Okay, CDXI and DCLX. So you have to compare them and then fill in the box, which is greater.
Sir, the answer is B.
So this will be greater. So see, again, start with the number which is the largest, 500, right? To the left of 500, you have 100. So this will become 400 and then 11. Did you get 411 for this? This is 411, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about this? What is the value that you got for this?
Sir, 660.
Yeah, 660. Again, 500 and then to the right of this, you have 160. So you'll add it. If you have any small number to the right, you add it. If you have any small number to the left, you subtract it. So again, start by the largest number. Any small number to the left, subtract it. Any small number to the right, add it. Okay, which of the following is the least or the smallest?
Sir, the answer is D. 470.
So you have this 470. What about this? What was the value of A that you got?
Sir, 1000.
1000. B, what is the value that you are getting?
Sir, 810.
810. C,
960.
960. Okay. Yeah, so D is the answer. Which of the following gives the greatest value? So you can ignore this. This may be correct as well as incorrect. Samne, do you have any doubts on this?
No, sir. Sir, I am solving it.
Okay.
Sir, the answer is D.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the value of this that you got? MCM, right? MCM XC. What is the value for this?
Sir, the value for this is 1590.
Okay. So you don't have to subtract this first. Just tell me the value for this.
Sir, 1590.
This is 1590. How come? This is MCMXC. Right.
Yes, sir.
So how did you get 1590 for this? So I mean,
Sir,
yeah. Go ahead.
MCM. So, M minus C.
Okay.
1990, sir.
Yeah. 1990. Right. See, there can be two possibilities. So you can either write it as MC plus MXC, or you can write this as M plus CMXC. Both ways you'll get different answer. Which one is correct?
So, first one.
Okay, if you go by first one, this will give you 1100, right? And this will give you 1000 plus 190. So 1190. So sorry, 1090. right? Because this is 1000 and this is 90. So 1090. So you'll get around 2190, right? Using this approach. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say? So this I just wrote as 1100 and then 1090. And if I use this, I'll get 1000 plus 900 and 90. So this, I mean, you have followed this one, right?
Sir, I did that MCM. First, I did M minus C. M is 1000 minus C, 900.
But if anything is to the right, you don't subtract, you add it, right? You don't subtract anything to the right. Right? So if you have any small number, so for example, if you have to write 4, will you write it as VI or IV?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir,
yeah.
I minus C from M.
Which one? This one or this one? I mean, there are two ways. So if you take this, you have to add. So if you solve this first, so you have to add C to M. If you solve this first, you have to subtract C with M. Right? Which one did you do? See, what I'm trying to say is, if you have this, right, this means 6. So you are adding 1 to 5, right? This means 4. You are subtracting 5 with 1. The same thing is here. If you are writing MC, and if you're solving this, you should not subtract. You should add C to M because C is smaller, M is larger, and C is to the right of M. So you should add, not subtract.
Sir, I'm saying the M which is on the third place in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
I subtracted C from that M.
Yeah. So that means you followed this one.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this one is correct, not this one. Why is this correct? So there is another rule, MCM. So when you have a small number between the same two larger numbers, so this number is sandwiched between these two larger numbers, right? So then you'll subtract it from the right one and not add it to the left one. Okay, so you'll use this, you'll solve this first and not this. Okay, that is why, I mean, if you had done this first, you would have got a different answer. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then when you are doing this in exam, I mean, just try to search the ones that has the largest digit. For example, if I look at these options, the only number that should come to me is this because this has two M's. So this is a number that may be close to 2000. All the remaining ones are close to 1000. Right? And then even if you subtract this, so you can see the largest number that you're subtracting is around 600. So 2000 minus 600 will get around 1400. This automatically becomes the largest. So I don't have to investigate each of these one by one. And this will save us a lot of time while we are solving this in exam. Right? Currently, you want to, I mean, understand the concept as well. So it is good that you are doing each of them one by one. Slightly different question. I mean, you have to form the largest number, but it is even. Right? You know what are odd and even numbers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are they? What is the definition of an odd number?
Sir, odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8.
0. So numbers ending with 2, 4, 6, 8, 0 are even. Numbers ending with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are odd. Right? So you have to form the largest 5-digit even number. Right? That can be formed from these digits using each digit at least once.
So the answer is 99652.
Yeah. 99652. So you can repeat as much times as you want, but at the same time, you have to ensure all these numbers must come once. So you have to reserve 2 to the end, right? You have to reserve this for the end. Now, what if I say, you have to form the smallest 5-digit even number?
Sir, 22569.
22569. But is this even?
Even number, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, even number we have to form.
Yeah.
Sir, 22596.
225. Yeah, so you repeated 2 twice. So that is the maximum number of times you can repeat. Then you wrote 5, which is smaller. Then you have to reserve the 6 for the end. So you wrote 9 first and then 6. Yeah, very good. Okay, so this will be the final question for today. Try solving this. So this is related to rounding off.
Okay. Nearest 1000. 608000. 8500 से कोई छोटा नंबर होगा 608400 से छोटा. So you have to find out कि इसमें से किसे राउंड ऑफ करके ये आंसर आए. That so the answer automatically becomes B. Sir, answer is B.
Okay. So see, try rounding this to the nearest 1000.
Sir, A.
Yeah. It will be A. Because if you round this off, you have to either increase it or keep it as it is. So you look at this. This is 4, which is less than 5. This will be 607000. This one will be 607. 8000. Okay. Any doubts? This concludes the first chapter. Right. I'm going to share some questions for you to solve. And then if you have any doubts on those questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, this concludes the first chapter. Okay. Any questions in general on this topic?
Sir, worksheet and records.
Yeah.
For recording.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share the recording and then I'll share the worksheet maybe tomorrow for you to solve the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Fine. Fine then. Bye. Good night.
Bye.